Everybody.
Blah, blah, blah.
I get it. I'm with you on that. But you know, if you're gonna blow a bomb just to blow a bomb, then do the big one.
The big one is broken.
The big one is not broken.
It is broken.
Give it to me. I will make it go.
I'm afraid of it because it did this.
I will make it work.
I
I won't aim it at you. I'm not like you.
Right,
I don't
let's
aim
blow a
it at
big
you
bomb
because you're
tonight.
supposed to pierce the top.
Nobody's buying from us, so let's buy a big bomb.
Where's the Sharpie things? Oh, you put the Sharpie things in it, right?
Oh, I don't have a pen. Do you have a pen and pen?
Yeah, I got a
don't
pen.
have a Sharpie. Hold on.
I got it. I'm good. I use
Why are
the
you
pen.
putting it with
Why do I have your pen? Kris and I, all right, for y'all that are just joining us, Kris and I do not have our act together today. We only just had lunch.
You're ratting me out.
What? I said we only just had lunch.
I know you're ratting me out. Okay.
Oh wait, I need
That's
that.
your pen, you idiot.
All right, you ready for the big bomb?
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
No, I didn't even
Sam
know.
Green says hi. He's wondering what the hell is going on.
We
There's
don't
people-
even know what's going on.
there's
It's
3
Memorial
people
Day
on-
weekend.
There's 4 people on Instagram that are wondering what the hell is going on and what the hell is wrong with you guys.
I don't even see us.
No, we got 4 people now on Facebook.
Well, good, because I don't even see us.
And we've lost 2 of the 4 people on Instagram because y'all don't stick around for us. And we got 1 person on Instagram.
Oh, there I am.
Wow. Our Instagram following is
Okay.
really...
We have 3 people on Facebook. It's Ford, Sam, and me.
You know, if y'all don't stick with us, we're just going to go home. Ford! Hey, Ford!
Ford has been on with us. Ford,
I'm sorry,
Sam
it doesn't
Green,
show up until he
and
says
Jim
something.
Hackett are watching with you. So those are the 3.
Wow.
And I would make 4. So there's
Well,
4 people.
I do like those 3, so I'm good with that.
And Sam beat me tonight. Gustavo's on.
Hi, Gustavo. I'm gonna do a preemptive hola, so you don't give me a guilt trip for not saying hello.
Hola, hola, hola.
Hola. Hola.
Latte. Holy latte.
Holy latte.
Oh la la la.
All right, so Kris seems to think that our big bomb is broken.
Is our big one broken?
Well, I don't know. I see a big metal piece at the back end, so I'm going to aim that down.
Don't hit the light.
I'm not going to hit the light. I'm aiming for the big
We decided we're
What?
blowing the big bomb because nobody has been buying, so we're just going to blow a big bomb because we feel like it's tonight.
Well,
The
not
only reason why we
not
do this
only-
show is to blow
excuse me.
bombs.
Excuse me. Not only have we not been selling much, but everybody's been really
What
freaking
size is the
quiet.
original? Wait, I'm being asked a question.
Do you have your measuring tape?
Of course not.
Do you want my measuring
It's
tape?
big and small at the same time, Jim, to answer your question of how big it is.
Well, if you grab a 13 by 19 print, I can tell you.
Nah, I'm going to measure it. Because that's what I do. Measure.
We really should not have had lunch right before going on.
Okay. The actual original art is by 11:17.
No.
Well, it's 15 by 17. The actual art without the mat.
All right, Jim Hackett, 15 by 17 is the actual art without the map.
And that is the original art.
We have 0 people on Instagram. Thank you very much.
Good. Shut them off. We're done. Studio tour, perhaps.
Oh my God, you and your studio.
I'll do a studio tour next week because I'm actually coming in Monday to clean. So maybe
It's Jade.
we'll do a studio tour on Wednesday
Hi.
because the studio will be clean.
What's the matter, hon? You got a boo-boo. What happened?
How'd you cut yourself?
Hangnail? Oh, you peeled some skin off of the side of your fingernail?
Ew.
I have to take Jade for a manicure.
Okay. All right.
All right, when do you want to do the bomb? Jade, do you want to do the bomb? Oh, Jade wants to do the bomb. Okay.
She can't do the bomb. She's going to kill somebody.
Jade can do the bomb. I have faith in my child. Come here, Jade. Don't worry, you're not on camera. It's all right.
So we're going to start the night off with a bomb.
Okay.
And we are just
Okay,
wasting
so
time here
sit
so
down
people
first.
can load up tonight.
All right,
We are going to
there's
do a
nothing
full
back
show
here.
tonight.
So aim that at the floor next to you. Aim that at the wall. At the
Don't
ceiling.
aim it at
Not
the
at the
lights.
pipe, not at the lights. And you twist this way and that way to shoot it. Exactly. All right, here we go. Don't aim that at your nuts. There. Okay.
And that was the last time we saw Kris.
And that was the end of Zea's line of
All right,
lineage.
so this is for Memorial Day. Drum roll, please.
Go. Hey!
Yay!
Thank you, Jade. Now we've made a mess.
Yay. That was nice.
And now Gustavo is on Instagram just so we would keep Instagram open.
If it wasn't for you guys keeping things going.
We would be home
Right.
in a
So
hot bath with a glass of
We're
wine.
just being stupid because it's Memorial Day and we've been up here all day like a real work day. And it was beautiful outside and we know it's probably going to rain all weekend.
Gustavo says 3 of us here. Yes, there's only 3 of you on Instagram.
Well, there's 6 of us on Facebook.
Well, no, it says 12 on my thing.
Yours thing always says more than mine does.
Now it says 14. Greg Harper says, well, sent us a smiley face. He didn't say anything, but he said
Right.
he sent a smiley face.
So is anybody doing anything interesting for Memorial Day weekend?
I'm glad you have to talk and I don't.
Thank you. I'm waiting for we have a big,
When Jay and Kris have lunch,
we have a big, time lapse between when we do something and when they see it.
oh yeah.
So, it's longer than normal.
Well, I'm going to start inquiring with other people as what they use
Yeah.
for their streaming because I don't know. Greg Harper says my daughter's birthday celebration. Happy birthday! We will dedicate our first bomb that Jay just blew up to your daughter.
Yep, exactly. And yesterday was Jason's birthday.
It was.
Another year older, Mr. Spider.
Jason's birthday is funny because Jason's birthday always rolls around when I'm broke.
Yeah.
I can never
Some
get any.
birthdays are like that. Pete is that way too. It lines up with property
The
taxes.
Geminis and the Cancers are just
So
screwed.
Pete gets nothing.
Greg Harper says, thanks much. Happy birthday to your daughter. Yay!
Do we have any graduates out there today? Might as well get through all of this.
Yeah, we actually have a graduation party downstairs from us today.
Right.
I should stop talking.
We also got fed really well today because we have a
steak.
restaurant caterer place on the first floor of our building. And usually on holiday weekends, they shut down for a little bit. So they seem to cook a lot of stuff. So actually our super, who we love, Richie, who actually has a space on our floor because we love him so much, came up with a giant vat of steak.
He did.
So Zeea and I probably just ate a whole cow
And
of
for those
steak tonight.
And for those of you who remember our Halloween video where I unalived my sister, Richie shot that.
Right.
He's the one that did the
Our
Dutch
super
angles and
shot
stuff.
our Halloween
So if
knifing
you-
in the basement.
If you're friends with me and you check my friends list, you will see Richie Torres.
Right.
And that is our Richie.
Right.
He is
So he
really
fed
cute.
us a really nice, and Savory fed us a very nice big steak lunch today.
Right, and if you watch our Thanksgiving video, we mentioned Savory there too, because they were nice enough to heat up our stuffing for that evening.
Right.
Paul Michael Moon Rogers says we're in Kyoto at the moment.
Traditional Japanese tea ceremony.
This morning, wow.
Nice.
Ford says cows, tasty critter. Yeah.
It was definitely a tasty critter.
That was a very
and it was
critter.
It was like a whole tray of just steak pieces.
You know those big aluminum trays that you usually like feed 20 people in?
And we were actually heading over to Subway's for our dinner lunch.
Yeah, no, here's the stupid thing. So we're on the line for Subway. And Kris orders her sandwich, and I'm still thinking of what I should get for me and Jay. And Kris leans over to me and she goes, yeah, what I really wanted to do is get some rice and vegetables from the Chinese restaurant downstairs and eat some of that steak. I'm like, well, why don't we? And she gave me this look like, but I just ordered. I'm like, I can eat that for lunch later. Come on, let's cook it. So, yeah.
So we had steak and fried rice and broccoli.
Garlic broccoli. So
it was good.
Don't try to smooch either one of us, because if you're a vampire, you'll die.
That is true. So I'm going to wait like another 2 minutes, and then we'll start the show. We'll see how many people actually come on tonight. I know a lot of people are traveling. A lot of people are doing a lot of stuff right now. So I don't know if we'll do a full show. I'm more than willing to show and tell. I could just run around the studio and you can ask, do you guys have this still?
That's right. And unfortunately for you guys, I did already pack the CGCs that I got today that I posted on my timeline. But they're very cool. And if anybody is looking to get a sketch cover or anything like that, you can contact me.
Yes.
But they came out really cute.
Zee and I are doing hot flips.
That's right. We are doing the
hot flips convention. Is that what it's called?
Wait, it's on your desk.
I believe it's the Hot Flips Convention. It's the people that make the plastics that I send your artwork in. They seem to have a convention every Sunday.
It is the
once a month.
hotflips.com/shows. Long Island Collectible Show. We are doing the June 2nd on Sunday, June 2nd, 10 to 4 p.m. in American Legion, Babylon Post 94.
Which supposedly is right off of the Babylon train station. It is right across the street, and Zee and I are going to be there.
That's right.
June 2nd from 10 to 4 o'clock. Zee will have all her prints and stuff. I'll have Neal's prints and stuff.
And I'll need 19 tables.
And we want 19 tables, exactly. And that is the inside joke. If you are a convention person, you know that Neal Adams always had to have 19 tables.
Well, he would walk in the door with 5 tables, and then he would need 19 more.
Right, exactly. Actually, Marilyn used to call him the fish market because he had so many tables. We looked like a fish market.
Hurry! We got Batman, we got Deadman, we got X-Men, we got everything you're looking for right here.
And then Neal would sell his Batman Odysseys at the table.
Dad could sell like nobody's business. It really impressed me. I wish he had taught me how to sell like he does.
But what he sold was...
Yeah, but you know Dad could sell sand at a beach.
Well, that's true. It is true. So, does anybody have any questions that we want to play with while we're loading in? I'm doing a slow load in because I know a lot of people probably don't even think we were doing a show because of Memorial Day today. So I'm going to just let us sit for a little bit because it is growing.
Well, we do have 20 bodies on Facebook. Right. Hello, and
so we're going to start in a minute or two.
And we have 2 bodies on Instagram. And I would like to reiterate, please do share us with anybody that you think even might be interested. It would be fun. We do like to have new faces in our crowd.
Right.
Which actually, that reminds me, I should probably...
And I don't see Tommy with us tonight, so everybody should be okay.
Oh, and I forgot to mention a couple of people that we met last weekend at CradleCon. One of which was this gentleman, who is a perfect gentleman, goes by the name of Brimstone. He's a wrestler who also does voiceover and stuff like that. and really super sweet guy. He came by the table because he had done a few shows that Dad and Marilyn had been at and became friends with them and wanted to come and say hi. So if you're on Instagram, I'm trying to pull up his Instagram name right now, but I believe it is Firmstone, because I don't imagine too many people have that as a name. I'm trying to find it. But we met some like really super nice, interesting people. John K. Snyder III was sat next to us. He was really nice. We got to exchange stories about Dad on 48th Street and stuff like that.
He seems to do a lot of mystery work. So if you're into mysteries, he seems to do graphic novels that are mystery driven. So to answer Sam, who said, how much is Spider-Man comic sketchhead behind Kris? It is, sorry, it can't be a show without Zeea sneezing.
Last time I almost made it through the whole show.
It's $600 in black and white. It would be $1,000 in color. And this is a sketch cover. So it's an original piece of art on a Spider-Man comic book. That actually is in very good condition. I think this would, I don't know. CGC seems to be changing their rules. So I don't know if you can still get a yellow label on this or not. Because now they're not, if they're not there when the artist is drawing it, they're apparently no longer going to say that that is drawn by Neal Adams. I hear rumor. So, but CGC seems to be changing some rules out there right now. So this is $600 to buy in black and white. If you would like it colored, it would be $1,000.
See, the downside of doing Instagram.
Do you still have the Spider-Man colored head? Yes, I do.
We do?
We do. The Spider-Man.
Oh, the one with the gray city. Yeah. I thought that went. Because I actually really enjoyed working on that piece.
No, we still have that. Hold on a second, and I will pull that out. I just don't know where that is in my pile today. God, it's right on the top. Imagine that.
Lord.
Okay.
Pick a spot.
I did pick a spot. So the price on the head sketch is $600. And the one that is actually a sketch on a blank covered Amazing Spider-Man is $600 without color. I'm going to let it catch up. Yeah. Okay, I buy the color head.
And that
$600
freak says,
on
wow, I've never seen Niels Parker.
Yes, Sam, you can if you would like. And last time I liked that wasn't too sexy a Spider-Man. So
it might be too sexy for Sam.
In a voice, the answer is yes, Sam.
Okay, I buy. Oh, shh. Okay. He wants it.
Okay. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Shammy.
Okay, so since we did go through the rules, Sam, what Sam just did, which you don't have to write shh.
Well, he doesn't want us to.
No, I know. Basically, what you do is you write in the comment bar, I would like to claim whatever you might see that you want to claim. Then we will recognize it, and then we will ask you to direct message. We will show that we see you and that this is yours. And then basically we'll ask you to direct message us your real name, if you're using a different name, your address of where I am shipping to, and an email address in which I can then send you an invoice. we're purchasing. And it's very simple like that.
And we will very DL go, woohoo!
Right. Okay, so.
No, that's not on the down low.
I didn't say who it was. So it is on the down low. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm not
Oh,
done.
you're going to do a little bomb?
You do a biggish bomb.
A medium bomb.
I've made a mess, so we're going to go for it.
Well, now we officially have 4 sizes of bombs, although we have not gotten what used to be a big bomb.
Yeah, we have to go back and get more big bombs.
The big ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Woo!
There we go. That was for someone who just purchased.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. This didn't.
Anonymous.
The anonymous buyer. Thank you very much.
Who shall not be named.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Okay. We will move on.
Okay.
Now, something that I keep forgetting to put out, which I personally love, and as usual, don't really want anyone to buy, which usually is the signal to buy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think
But the
Benjamin
reason-
is on right now, so
but
I
the
think you might
reason-
be safe.
I'm doing it because Benjamin isn't on. For what's his face? James Hustler. I'm safe right now. Is, you know how I have my faves, and then sometimes I don't show them to people because they are my faves, and I hope they don't get one. But this one is one of Kris's favorites, and since my
it's the Flash.
right, since my enemies are not around tonight, I feel freer to show it.
The enemies are nemesis.
Great. Now I have what you call one now. Ribbons. Confetti. But I think this is a fantastic head drawn by Neal. Pen and ink of Flash, which he did some flashes, but not a lot of flashes. The nice thing about this Flash is this was the paper we used before we changed to the ones with the logos on the side. And when we did the ones with the logo on the side, in actuality, the drawing shrunk a little bit. So this is a slightly bigger head of Flash. It is a very tight, well-drawn head of Flash. It has a great sticker price of $700 that I think this is a really good buy. And once again, I don't really want anyone to buy it, which is the reason why I rarely show it. But this is a really nice piece for that price, and it is at a larger head size because it doesn't have the logo paper. So $700 is Flash. It is a pen and ink drawing by Neal, and it is signed by Neal. And it's a very nice piece of art if you're into Flash.
I think even if you're not in Flash, it is a good.
Right.
Not
I
him.
hide him back here. He's out, but I hope that nobody really looks. Yeah. This is another piece that I really like. Man, who I might actually cry if this one goes.
I might too, because I just had to send out 2 of my Voodoo Doll Man bats today, and I kind of miss them already.
Yeah. Well, this is my last man bat by Neal, and once again, Neal didn't do a lot of man bats. It's
so cute and fuzzy.
Well, obviously a lot less man bats than there are Batmans out there. Man Bat is a nice pen and ink by Neal again, $900. It is a signed piece. And if you're into Man Bat, this is a really nice Man Bat. But once again, I don't really want to sell this one.
See, if Man Bat were real, I'd be like scratching the fur just at the end of his jawbones.
Right. Well, sometimes Man Bat can look really unattractive.
But sometimes he can be really cute.
And sometimes he looks cute. I like this one because it's a good cross.
Yeah.
He's cute, but yet he's still Man Bat. So we do have Man Bat at $900. These 2 drawings are like probably one of my favorite drawings that we have. So do not buy them.
I would be friends with Man Bat. And I think Jade would approve.
Man Bat's the best. I can't wait till they do a good Man Bat movie.
Although I will say this as a preemptive, As long as he doesn't bite and he doesn't leave guano everywhere.
He doesn't poop his pants, yeah.
I'm not worried about him pooping his pants. I'm worried about him pooping the carpet. That guano, not a good
But
thing.
there's nowhere where he's pooped his pants, so he doesn't do that. Okay, next up is a hardcover collection of World's Finest, which Neal has pieces in here, many covers, I would say. And I will say what he has done on the cover of this book is he did remarks of Superman and Hal Jordan.
Yep.
Green Lantern. Sorry.
Green Lantern.
As my brain was going, don't say the wrong one. It said the wrong one. They're done in silver marker. They're at the bottom portion, but they do match the character above. So Hal Jordan is under Hal Jordan. Superman is under Superman. They are large remark heads compared to little, some artists will draw almost thumb-sized heads. These are bigger than that by a lot.
These are bigger than palm size.
Right.
Unless you have really big hands.
And we were selling this at $8, and I'm going to bring it down to $600 since it is Memorial Day.
Ooh. Dad's gone to the bathroom.
Yeah, Dad went to the bathroom. So $600 for 2 remarks by Neal. They are large. They're on a World's Finest collection hardcover. It is a signed 2 remarks. $600 is the asking price. Aaron White is watching.
Hi, Aaron.
So what was $800 has been reduced to $600. It is on World's Finest Guardian of the Galaxy.
No, Guardians of Earth. Guardians of the Galaxy is a totally different title. That's a Marvel series.
Testing.
That was a Marvel series.
I was testing.
The World's Finest Guardians of the Earth, Superman, and Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
Yes, Batman also reminds me of Gary Oldman when he was changing into a Batman.
Yeah, boy, that was a big stone in Dad's craw when that came out. Dad was like, that looks like Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't argue with that because it did.
But
on the other hand,
they all check out each other's works.
And I will say, if somebody is in transition between Man and Bat,
they're going to kind of look.
The only difference is Gary Oldman's had that flat nose.
Yeah.
Whereas Man-Bat has a much cuter nose. He's got a little button nose. Whereas Gary Oldman had that,
Well, a lot of people like to draw that kind of upturned, square, and then sometimes they'll even have a hunk of skin.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got a bit of that, but I mean, the one, and it was like this. You might as well put your hand in front of your face kind of
nose
thing. Yeah. So I'd say of the Gary Oldman and Dad's Man-Bat, I like Dad's Man-Bat.
Exactly. So again, a $800 Guardian of Earth with a Superman Hal Jordan remark for tonight only is $600.
I will say I would absolutely get them both checked for rabies and give them a flea bath.
That's the Man-Bat.
No, that's the Gary Oldman too.
Oh, okay.
You would have to have a flea bath.
Okay, I'm marching onward. Marching onward.
This is wearing her lovely seagull pins today.
They're
feeling
actually
very beachy.
Mom's seagulls.
Yeah, well, they're yours now.
I only pull them out occasionally.
They're very pretty.
When I am feeling Mom, I pull out the seagulls.
Have you been feeling Mom today?
I've been missing Mom.
Yeah, I hear that.
So, seagulls came out today.
I did see a seagull out the window earlier today.
I know. I always think it's Mom and Dad. For those of you who keep asking me, why do you always talk about Neal not in the past tense, which I've now had 3 people point that out to me. And I came, like, it bothered me the last time it was said. And I was like, am I ridiculous? Am I brain damaged? What is wrong with me? And in the end, what I came up with is the reason why I don't usually talk about him in the past tense is because he's still relevant in areas that he's relevant. So to say he was doesn't feel right.
Well,
So that's the right reason why I say he is.
Is, right. And I think it's a combination of that, and you and I both think of Dad as being at a convention.
Oh, I don't. I mean, I
oh, you
like,
don't? See, I think of Dad as being at a convention, and I can't call him.
Right. No, I understand
because he's doing a show.
But I don't have that. I think I purely do it because when we do shows and when we do, whether it's doing a panel or whatever, there are still parts of Neal that are still relevant. So therefore, he is versus he was. Like, we haven't gotten far enough to be a was.
It's like he's not a has-been. He still is.
Right.
Yeah. I get it.
So, and I do the same thing with my mom,
And Wayne says, I still talk about Valerie in the present tense at all times.
Okay, so it's not weird.
Yeah. No, I still talk about Dad in the present tense.
Because I started wording out because 3 people recently pointed that out. And I was like, oh, am I not accepting? Is there something wrong with me?
And Sarah, who you'll be expecting package next week, says, and he will be for a long, long time.
Exactly.
Actually, for anybody who has not seen Sarah's YouTube, she puts up stuff that I never even knew Dad did in the first place. And it's so much fun watching Sarah's YouTube videos because I get to learn like other pieces that Dad has done.
So where do we find Sarah's YouTube videos?
Sarah's YouTube is silver-haired Bronze Age babe, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, Sarah, you're gonna have to post it up. So anybody who wants to watch what Sarah does on YouTube,
I think it's silver-haired Bronze Age babe.
Okay. But Sarah will get that up, and then we can all go check it out.
Yep.
In the meantime, Silver-Haired Bronze Age Babe comics on YouTube. Yeah. Okay. See, now I'm going to check it out.
And she's so sweet. She's given me her own shelf or my own shelf, I should say, in her workspace at home.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice.
I feel very honored.
So the piece we now have up, Zeea has done already a pan skin. Now I'm behind. This is Wolverine. And this Wolverine was actually done for the frame that we put around the trading card of Wolverine that Neal did for Marvel. This was Neal figuring out what did he want to draw on each one of the frames. So this was the first drawing that Neal did that he liked and decided to put that on all the frames, the outer corner of the frame. So we sold the trading card with an original Wolverine on the frame. This is the first Wolverine he drew that cemented that Wolverine as being the Wolverine on the frame that had the little trading card of Wolverine standing.
And I love the size of his canines. His fangs are just really
right.
Like, I don't want to get bit.
So this is a pen and ink by Neal. It is signed by Neal for $600. Really nice piece. Maybe Z will do one more pan and scan.
Sure, because we never have enough Wolverine.
Well, especially for us. I mean, it's Batman.
No, yeah, that's true.
And then you finally get like, hey, it's not Batman.
At least when Dad used to go, get me that Wolverine drawing, you knew what he was talking about.
Right.
When he said, get me that Batman, it was like, there's a million different Batman's drawings. Which one?
So this is a nice Batman. Like I said, if you look up, I guess on eBay, I'm sure there'll probably be one, but we did a trading card, a standing figure of Wolverine, and then we sold it in a frame that had this Wolverine in the corner. So, like I said, it is the first one. And I will say, again, that Neal didn't do the yellow and black Wolverine that often. I mean, Wolverine is a character that you don't really associate to Neal. So
That is true.
there are less Wolverines out there than there are Batmans. So
Well,
this
Dad worked
Batman,
on X-Men before Wolverine came along.
Yeah.
And then he did the
first X-Men.
Yeah.
And then what they did was they said, Kris, you can't have silver claws.
Yeah,
You
you
have to
gotta do the
have
bone claws.
The bone claws. And I was like, what? I'm doing Wolverine.
And then I had this question. Okay, so looking at the bone claws,
Mm-hmm.
if the adamantium was just like added onto his bones, then why would the adamantium claws not look like bones covered in silver?
Why do they look like blades?
Why do they look like blades?
Did they come out looking like blades?
According to the movies, I don't know about the comic books.
All right, comic books. I know it was Barry Windsor Smith. Was Barry Windsor Smith? Yeah, it was Barry Windsor Smith that did that. So what is the answer?
Did they have to like grind his claws in order to make them like blades?
Well, I just wonder if he went like chink and that, like, and that made his.
Oh my god! And I am so looking forward to the next Deadpool movie that's got Wolverine in it. Okay, I got that out. I'm okay.
All right. So, can anyone answer us on why, if he had bone claws before the chrome claws or whatever,
Adamantium claws,
right?
Why do the adamantium claws
come out
Sam
as
says
razors?
he does not have a clue. Yeah, it doesn't
What
make sense.
did we stump?
We
Did
may
we
have stumped
stump our
everybody.
group?
Oh
What?
wait, I know. Suspension of disbelief.
No,
That's what they do in movies all the time.
I know they do that. In movies.
You know when Mortimer used to say, well, in reality, this would never happen. And Dad would go, this is not reality. This is advertising. Well, this is not reality. This is comic books.
Neal Adams lived in a lot of reality.
But not when it came to comic books and advertising.
I don't know about that. I had to make many a phone call to my art director going, no, it doesn't work that way. Neal says it doesn't work that way. Okay, here we go.
Wayne Lasso says suspension of belief and that the metal formed as blades. See? Suspension.
So it must have melted the bone and became a blade.
Yeah, but then it would have had to have melted all of his bones. It
did melt all his
and
bones.
Then,
wasn't all
then
his
there's
bones.
the question of
it wasn't just these.
What about the cartilage between the bones?
No, but all his bones were that, which is why he could heal the way he could heal.
Right, but why did the adamantium not get his cartilage? Because if it covered his cartilage, then his cartilage wouldn't be able to move. How did they get it to stick just to his bones? I'm thinking too much. Tell me to shut up. Okay, so we're on Dead Man right now.
Yes. Now, what question can you come up with for Dead Man?
All right, who decided he had to go to Baba Ganoush?
First of all, he did not go to Baba Ganoush.
It is Baba Ganoush.
This is an 8.
Ramakrishna.
Yes.
I know it's Ramakrishna. I just like to call it Baba.
Yeah, I don't know how it made. He was a guy who swung from a trapeze.
And he died, and he came back.
Right.
As a ghost.
And then how did we get to that? I mean, we're going to have to read some
get to
books
Baba
this
Ganoush?
weekend, Zeea.
I don't know.
Okay, 8.5 by 11, Dead Man. And they're all going, how do these girls do this show? And they haven't read a comic book in their life.
That's how we do the shows.
And it's been 5 years and we still don't know what we're talking
It's
about.
called audience participation.
8.5 by 11, Dead Man. This is pencil and ink by Neal. Color on this is Neal. Neal did the white or pink and blue white.
Oh, Wayne is answering our question. He's taking me seriously. I love you, Wayne. I appreciate that you're taking me
Wayne's
seriously.
the best.
He says the metal bonded to the bones. Again, suspension of belief.
Mm-hmm.
His healing factor allowed him to survive the process. I get that. I get it. But it's like...
She wants to know why he's bendable and not stiff.
Right, because they give him all the injections. Okay, so there's like wherever the injection site is had to have had a little bit of
It filled him up.
And then how does it only affect the bones and not the cartilage or like because everything goes around through your circulatory system. So why? You know what? I'm thinking too much. I'm gonna shut up and just let it be.
There is the problem with Wolverine.
There's a problem with a lot of characters, which is why I like end up watching, or reading like ElfQuest and stuff.
Okay, so Dead Man is 8.5 by
Just go with the
11.
flow, he says.
Drawn by Neal, pen and ink. Color of the skin on Dead Man is colored by Neal.
Yes.
The costuming and background is Zeea. And nobody answered you why Dead Man is on Baba Ganoush.
That's okay. As Wayne Masso says, just go with the flow. I mean, a lot of those panels were pretty trippy, so getting to Baba Ganoush is not that much of a stretch of the imagination, so it's all good.
And this is a signed piece by Neal.
You'll also have to forgive, I've been roller skating to disco music earlier today. It makes you question things.
It does. All right, there is Dead Man. All right, Dead Man.
Dead Man!
He's signed.
What else
Right.
you got, Chris?
I have 11 by 14. Oops, I lost my plastic. 11 by 14 Batman and Robin. And I would say this is a classic Batman and Robin by Neal. This is pen and ink Neal, signed by Neal for $3,000.
Another case of he has so many freaking bats.
You know.
To find the right one.
So Robin is obviously swinging on a rope connected to something.
Suspension of belief.
We're picking apart all the art tonight, obviously. This is $3,000 to buy a very classic Neal Adams Batman and Robin.
Well, Robin's rope has the same problem as Spider-Man's web.
Well,
He's
Spider-Man's
swinging
web
around.
could be connected to anything.
There's nothing in the middle of the road to be attached to, so you have to like swing towards that building on the left, but you have to like hit the building on the right to go.
But he does swing to the building on the left.
Yeah, but there's sometimes where he swings straight and it's just like
It's when he does that weirdo, like I bring my hands down to my feet.
Yeah.
Open and close, and he goes down the middle of 6th Avenue.
Wayne Masso says, why was Excalibur in a lake and why did the lady have it? We just accept it. It's all part of storytelling. Thank you, Wayne. I do appreciate that because sometimes I need to be reminded of stuff because sometimes I get just too Vulcan.
He is Vulcan.
I mean, I'm not usually. I'm usually like, I will go with the flow. You throw me a crazy idea, I'll run with it. But every once in a while, my brain goes like, wait a second. Ein Minuten bitte.
Batman and Robin. $3,000.
Is the name of the costume designer in superhero? The Incredibles? Oh my god, I can't remember. I can't believe I can't remember her name. But I'm with her when it comes to no camps. That should really trip your ass up. And no high heels. There should be no high heels.
I don't know. I thought no high heels, so I saw the girl run in Jurassic Park.
Okay, one girl out of how many billion?
Ron Howard's daughter can run in high heels.
Right, one girl in how many billion
I
can
don't know,
run
she
in
did
high
it.
heels?
She
But
did
they
it.
weren't that high either.
Yeah, but
Granted,
still,
they were
she
they
ran
were
a
the little
lot.
one.
They were the, what do they call
They
them?
were stilettos.
Spirit high heels.
Were they-
Bounce.
Is that what it's called?
I think
thought they were
so.
stilettos.
No.
Because they were skinny heels.
They were skinny heels, but stilettos are tall. Hers were
Okay.
short. Easy Spirit.
Kitten heels?
Remember when they had red? They weren't kitten heels. They were
Okay.
Easy Spirit shoes. They were. Remember when they had girls come out in red heels on a basketball court
No.
to sell red heels?
No,
It
because
was
I didn't
easy.
watch basketball.
Easy Spirit. It was a commercial.
I didn't watch commercials either. Edna mode. Thank you. No
I think
case.
Zeea dropped acid tonight.
I didn't. You just fed me right before we came on. I need to be fed like 2 hours before we
I
come
think
on.
Zeea needs to go home and go to bed tonight. So
There's that. Too.
this is Jean Grey,
I've been awake for too many hours.
Marvel Girl from X-Men. You know, she does sniff the markers occasionally.
I don't, because I don't use ADs anymore. It was the AD markers that you could do that. You don't do that anymore. Olos and Prismacolors don't
You're
have
the
same
one
mark.
pushing Olos. I would have shut up and stayed with my ADs.
Sarah Sider said, easy spirit playing basketball in heels like one does.
Always. So this is $900 to buy.
Oh,
It
shit,
is.
that's the wrong video.
It is a pencil.
Send me home.
Zeea is malfunctioning tonight. You know
There's a
you're the
glitch
right
in the
one.
Matrix.
You're the right one now.
No, I do now, but I put
Oh.
the Batman with Robin on the rope first.
I saw that. They'll forgive you.
I don't know. They're not going to let me live that one down.
Usually it's me. This is you tonight. Jean Grey, Marvel Girl from X-Men. This is a really cute, and I'm going to use the word Neal would use, spunky
Spunky.
Jean Grey. I love her little skirt. To be perfectly honest, I don't want you guys to buy this either because I personally like this drawing a lot. So this is signed by Neal. It is a pencil.
And
I
where she
know.
is, it's a bit chilly.
You know, Z, I hold back saying that. For how many times have we shown
Look,
this?
there's
now?
a wind blowing.
Anyway, it is Jean Grey, Marvel Girl from X-Men. Drawn by
Been possessed by my father.
Signed by Neal. We're going to get a lot of phone calls today. What is wrong with the two of you?
I'm tired, man.
And P just came on
Uh-oh.
with hockey information.
Uh-oh.
So,
You know, all right. My first trip to England with my now ex-husband, we were on a bus going from, I don't know where, to somewhere else, British. And we passed by this field of cows. And anybody who knows me really well knows that fart jokes will set me off. So somebody made a fart joke about cows. And I have this disease that I refer to as giggle fits. And I started having a giggle fit. And they're so bad that I can't breathe. And the person in front of us...
really, Lance, I agree with you.
The person in front of us turned around and looked us dead in the face and said, "You need to share whatever the hell she's on." And my ex said, "No, you don't understand. She's like that."
There you go.
I'm like that.
Zeea has her dumb days. They come once every 90, 120 days. Today is one of Zea's dumb days.
When I'm starved for entertainment.
Yes. So I have up an 8.5 by 11 Superman. This is a gorgeous piece by Neal, and I'm going to say Neal and Zeea. Neal did the Superman figure. Zeea did that complete background. It is actually done in all color. It does not have line holding it.
Yep, there's no inking there.
Right. So this is pencil and ink of the Superman character by Neal. color on this is Zeea. Background is done by Zeea. The price on this is
$2,600.
$26.
And obviously, Clark had lunch with Dad before he shot this photo because he's got that little splotch on his pants.
Well, I've been known to
It's
drop my food.
it's cheeseburger juice.
Cheeseburger juice on Superman's pants. Well, it is Clark Kent. He's clumsy.
That's right. It's cheeseburger.
So it
juice.
does fit. Ask Wayne if he's watching hockey.
Wayne, are you watching hockey? But he's paying attention to us and he's interacting.
Yeah, but I hear it's really hot right now. They're fighting.
Ooh!
2,600 on Superman.
I went to the fights once the hockey game broke out.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do this Batman.
Oh.
I don't know if this one we have.
I don't know. I don't think I have that one.
I don't think we have the scan. This is 8.5 by 11 Batman.
Wayne says yes.
I
I don't know to what part.
to the hockey game.
Okay.
So I hear it's a good one.
Well, I do like the Rangers, and I can't remember the name of the goalie for the Rangers, but he was like the real reason why.
Yeah,
I
but
like
now
the
they have a
Rangers.
new goalie.
No.
Yeah, that other goalie retired.
Damn.
Now we have, I call him Turducken. He's got like a weird name. But it's like Turducken, so I just call him Turducken. And he's really, really good. Nothing gets
Tell me,
by
what
him.
is the name of the goalie now?
Turducken.
Wait, Sam Green says Lance is back on the right side. Oh, because he was on Instagram. Got it.
So we have a 8.5 by 11 Batman pen and ink Neal for $1,400, signed by Neal. Very classic black cowl Batman.
Kris
So
and I-
sometimes Neal does it liney, sometimes Neal does it very heavy ink.
Well, when he does a lot of heavy ink, I refer to it as being velvety.
Yeah.
Because it feels very like black velvet to me.
See, it's just Turkin, so I call him Turkin.
Just yeah, Turducken's work.
Turducken. Turkin.
But what was the name of the guy that they had before? And Wayne says Panthers versus Rangers at MSG for Game King.
Yeah.
But I love the guy before because he was bad. The goalie before
Yes, I know.
kicked ass.
Yes, I know.
And should
But
be
this guy
bronze
is-
and live forever.
And this guy is really, really good.
And I
Nothing
can't
gets by
remember his
Turducken. Occasionally gets by Turducken, but not
Well
usually.
good. Then they replaced my favorite with somebody who's worthy.
Right. Oh,
Tur-
definitely.
Turducken is worthy.
Turducken is worthy. Someday I'm gonna do like an I whatever.
We got Baba Ganoush and we got Turducken. What else?
And I mangle
It's all food references.
all the basketball people.
No, the best was when the movie came out and Mom comes to me and she goes, "Z, I want to go see that movie." I said, "What movie?" She goes, "The one that has
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck and
Who's in there?
Die Hard."
Oh, Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. I want to go see that movie that has Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis in it. What's it called? What is it? Armageddon? I'm like, are you saying? Do you mean Armageddon? Yeah. So now every time anything happens, I'm like, Armageddon. Lundqvist, yes. Previous goalie was Henrik Lundqvist.
Yes.
And I loved his name too because it just sounded like
Now we have Igor or Igor Turducken. Okay, back to Neal Adams. Enough sports for the evening.
Yeah, but this is why they tune in the first place.
I know. It is Memorial Day weekend. We're definitely off the boat right now.
Can you tell?
And we're talking hockey tonight. We're talking basketball tonight. We're talking comic books tonight.
Mispronunciations.
Exactly. All right, Batman is $1,400. See, and I'll be out of job by next week.
He is signed.
Please support us. Because we're going to be killed after the show tonight. You guys have to save us.
Please help me.
They're not going to keep us much longer.
Okay. Well, luckily
Everybody out there is probably saying, I'm surprised you lasted this long. All right. Dark Phoenix Uncanceled.
How did you last this long?
You know, when we
no
go,
idea.
you guys are all going to miss us.
I know. You guys are going to be like, whatever happened to Kris
Zeea
and
Grass.
Right.
And you know what they're going to say? I really miss their stuffing episodes.
I miss when they used to be Bertha Stewart and Julia Child. Although I will say,
Yes.
my Swedish Chef did kick ass.
Your Swedish Chef kicked ass as well. Okay, so we have Dark Phoenix, 8.5 by 11, or 1900. This is pencil and ink. I was going to say pencil and ink Zeea, colored. It's pen and ink Neal, colored by Jason Adams, with a little white help from Zeea.
You know,
The price is $1,900 for Dark Phoenix.
if I could pencil and ink like that,
Yeah,
I wouldn't be worried about getting fired. See, for those of you that follow me, you know how much I talk about the color poppy red
Yes.
in Prismacolor.
Mm-hmm.
I hit this with poppy red on the costume, and it really,
Brings
you know,
it out.
it really makes red stand out.
Mm.
Yes, Lance Lundquist was who I was talking about. Yes, absolutely. I freaking loved him. Not that I really followed sports. I only follow any sport that I actually get to go to the game to. Which my first game was Yankees versus Red Sox. And I'm convinced the only reason why the Red Sox won is because Joel was rooting for them. It was
Joel
just
was rooting for the Red Sox?
Yes, and it was literally just to piss me off.
Wow. Joel has been discommunicated.
Excommunicated.
Excommunicated. Okay, Batgirl, full figure.
Armageddon.
Runs in the family. I'm even shocked Joel went to a baseball game.
Well, Dad took us all.
I'm shocked.
It was-
Dad went to a baseball game.
Yes, there is that. But
What were you guys all doing? Was he doing a job for the
dude,
baseball people?
I have no idea why we went. I really
The
maybe
one
Maryland
place
can
you will
answer.
never
I
find
don't
the
know.
Adams family is at a baseball game.
Well, that's not entirely true. I did go to the Coney Island game.
That's not a baseball game.
I only went once because every time they hit a foul ball, I was there with Jade, and Jade was still like toddler, and all the foul balls came towards us, and there's me like, my baby, you know, protecting, like covering Jade,
You're an idiot.
being like a human shield for my
You
offspring.
should let her
Who
get
would
hit.
never do that for me? I fall in the street and Jade just looks at me like, what the hell happened to you? You know?
All right, we have an 11 by 14 Batgirl. Full figure. This is another piece that is colored by Jason. A lot of very nice airbrushing on this piece, and it is $1,800 to buy, which is a very nice price for an 11 by 14 piece. It is pencil and ink Neal. And I love how it says it is pencil and ink meal.
Yes.
Meal, as in I ate a meal,
Yeah.
not meal.
And he was tasty too.
Speaking of sports stars, Kobayashi retired today.
Okay. Let me guess, he was skinny. It's always the skinny ones that can eat. Because I saw on
What are you even talking about now?
the eating competitions. It's always the skinny guys that win.
Oh, is he an eating person?
Yeah.
Kobayashi. Oh, I thought you
Kobayashi.
like lost your mind over there. So which one is Kobayashi?
I don't know, but I'm betting he says super skinny. Now here's the reason for that. Because I watched a thing on this. I did. I watched a thing on this, and it's always the skinny guys that win, and it's never like the big chunky guys that you would expect, because apparently muscle stretches easier than fat does. So if you're chunky,
you and I would not.
would not win a competitive eating contest.
I would never want to be in a competitive.
No, neither would I.
It.
But for those of you, it's always the people that are really super lean, because muscle can stretch and fat can't. That's why you get stretch marks.
Right.
Because fat can't stretch. So yeah, it's always the skinny person that doesn't. That wins.
Okay. So there we go. We learned a lot tonight.
We've learned way too much tonight.
And please forgive us. We're normally not like this on those nights.
We had to do it. We did a convention last weekend. And we didn't get a break.
Like come back to normal yet.
No.
All right. Oh, I didn't think it's because it's Memorial Day weekend. So anyway, 11 by 14 back girl, 1800. And I will say this does have, besides Neal's fabulous art, it does have a really nice airbrushed background to it. A lot of work on this. The reason why I don't pull it out of the plastic is because of how much airbrushing has actually been done on this piece. And I don't want the airbrushing to get wrecked. So.
Thank you, Wayne. Wayne says, I gotta go. Have a great show. And I'll
He's
watch
like,
it.
you two are too retarded.
And I'll watch it this weekend. Why are you leaving, Wayne? Why are you abandoning me? You're on my team.
He's going out. It's Friday night.
Wayne.
8.5 by 11 Batman aggro pencil.
Oh, shit.
I think even Sam has left us. It's summertime, finally. We had a very long and boring winter.
We kind of did, yeah.
A lot of gray. We had a lot of rain.
And we're suffering like it's finally getting to be nice weather, but it's only nice weather on the weekdays.
No.
And then it hits the weekend and it's like pissy rain.
Well, it's going to be nice tomorrow. It's going to be
better
nice on
tomorrow.
Sunday.
The problem is it being nice tomorrow. I sleep in tomorrow.
Don't sleep in.
What's the price
Go
on
just
this?
move your bed to the beach. $700.
You're dead to the beach. I wish. I live with a recluse.
Lance is still with us. He just had to go grab some food.
Okay, good. You stick with us, Lance. Don't abandon me.
So $700. This is a really nice pencil by Neal.
I need somebody on my team.
This will get a certificate of authenticity to go along with that.
You know, if Benjamin were here.
Yeah, where is Benjamin? He left us. I don't know. He's back down in Florida, I think.
Isn't it like stormy down in Florida?
I think it was, but I think they're over it.
Okay. Well, I hope Benjamin is okay.
All right. Batman for 700 is going to the side.
What you got next?
I don't know. I have Thor. Thor unfinished rough pencil. So Thor, which he is looking for, is 11 by 14. He is a rough pencil.
Happy Tower is turned up!
Yay!
Hi, Felix!
So I will say this is one of the
Oh, and LB Buddha is on Instagram. Hi.
this is one of the Kris and Zea's crazier shows of being out of control.
When you lose something like Ben, you don't go
Oh,
looking for
Sam.
Sam.
That's not true.
Sam,
Ben makes me laugh.
you are my trouble child.
Yes.
You are the one that I need to whack in the nose with a magazine.
So this is 11 by 14 Thor. He doesn't have a price.
He does.
Oh, he doesn't have a price. 800. Sorry, I didn't see it. And this matches the Thor we did as a print, which was sold at many conventions. And Happy Towers is back. Well, nice of you to pop in on Memorial Day weekend. Somehow I feel like there should be fireworks this weekend, but I guess this is our barbecue picnic weekend. Zeea, are you picnicking this weekend?
Oh wait, Lance is claiming the Phoenix pencil on payment plan. Can we discuss
Which
the
one
light
was the
coloring on it?
Phoenix?
We can discuss
The
that.
Phoenix pencil on payment plan.
Yeah,
The
It's-
Phoenix pencil
it's
do I have on payment plan?
it's the pencil that you said you didn't want to sell, because you said you didn't want to sell it.
Oh, the Jean Grey.
The Jean Grey, yeah.
That's not Phoenix, that's Jean Grey.
I know, but you know.
All right. It is a nice buy. Thank you, Lance. I have to find it. We're talking about this one.
Yes.
He wants a possible light coloring on it.
Yeah, well, that would probably be in pencil, because it is a pencil drawing, so it would have to be in color pencil. But we can certainly discuss that. I mean,
Why couldn't
there.
it be done in marker? If we take the
Well, if we
pencil
take
line
it and we
and
make a
turn
print
it
of it,
black,
yes,
yeah.
we can do it in marker. But if he wants it on the original, it would end up having to be pencil and not marker.
I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do that. Nah.
I'm not the buyer.
I'm the buyer.
He's the buyer.
It's my child. I found it.
Okay. Maybe just some reds and greens on the edges. Okay. We will discuss, Lance. 'Cause
I know, Lance,
obviously,
this is what I would
Kris
do.
has very strong feelings on this. So,
What I would do is I would have Zeea keep this pristine, put it on the color Xerox machine, take Neal's pencil, make it a little darker, so it's almost like an ink kind of sorta, and then do a light marker coloring on it. But that's just me.
pristine rhymes with
Prissy.
Christine.
Pristine.
Pristine.
Pristine the pristine. Okay, Lance. I'm going to put your name on this. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
You're
Sam says, I'm
fine.
sure you and Lance can figure that out off camera.
Oh, like
But I'm
we have
sure you-
something better to do tonight.
Right. And like you're not thoroughly entertained by me and Kris like arguing about how to do it too.
You have a better way. You guys can join in. Okay, reader.
Yeah, it's not like this isn't a free for all tonight.
That's right. We open it to the floor. Okay, this is Lance's.
They're in front of you, Dippy.
Oh, these, yes. I didn't see them.
Okay, Doodle. Happy Tower says, I'm with Kris. Like a light was, like a light wash.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm a horror like my dad. I will do whatever the way you want me to. I'm just throwing suggestions out there.
Hey, this was my piece.
Well, that's true. Yeah. It's you're
Thank
the one
you.
emotionally attached to it, so
Thank you, Lance. Maybe if I turn it the right way, it will work.
Oh, I see. Sam is still mad at Lance for abandoning the Facebook group and going over to the dark side.
Oh my god. We screwed you over on Instagram.
I know. Who hurt you, Sam?
What happened?
Who hurt you?
What is your trauma? Okay. This is never this time for me. I'm not even going to discuss it. Okay, we have Batman. Excuse me. 11 by 14 Batman pen and ink by Neal. Color of this is Zeea.
And you do get my color guide on this one.
Yes, her color guide is packed in here. So
What's the
this
number on it?
It was 3,000. I'm gonna make it 2,800 for tonight.
Woohoo!
Because I know people have difficulty a little bit with it because it isn't a traditional Neal Adams. It's kind of Neal Adams doing kind of like a Frank Miller version of Neal Adams doing Batman. But I will say that the drawing on this, to me, has all the aspects that you love of Neal, even though it is the chunkier Batman.
Well, he's more like the
It's
classic
a tougher Batman.
build. He's somewhere in between Dad's Batman and like the George Reeve Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Sam says, yes, I guess you're right. At least Instagram did not ban me from the Neal Adams appreciation days.
I can't believe you got banned.
I believe it.
Zia believes it. I
He
can't
gets
believe it.
banned.
Because most of the time, if anybody gets banned, it's because I get banned. And then I call everybody and say, take it down. Because most of the time, everybody's kind of like, burp, burp, burp. So I don't know what you did, Sam. And for all I know, I was the one that took you down.
No, I see people get
I usually take
banned.
the person down. Nobody's ever been banned. Like, you
I
should
see
be
people
honored.
get banned for far less than Sam Green has ever done. You just have to be on like the wrong page.
I
and they will
don't
ban
know
your ass for
who
like
would have banned
blinking.
him. I don't even think Jason and I know how to ban anybody.
Happy Towers is having a good chuckle here.
So 2,800 on Batman. That normally goes for 3,000 for tonight only. Neal Adams signature on this, pencil and ink. It comes with the old style certificate of authenticity that comes with the fingerprint of Neal, which I think this is the only certificate of authenticity I have that actually has Neal's fingerprint on it, which that's kind of cool. And it comes with his original layout for color as well.
Which is pretty much the same.
I mean, this I would buy. This is a piece I would consider.
I like this one.
I like this piece.
I actually kind of don't want to even buy.
Yeah, 2,800 for a Batman with the blood splats. This is done by Zeea. Someone there knows. It would almost have to be.
Don't name names.
It's gonna be.
They'll
Well, it's
bite you in the
Clifford. It's Clifford's site. It's not mine or Jason's site. So you must have upset Clifford. You must have done something.
Sam, I feel you because I have frequently been invited to leave. Usually when I rat somebody out,
if
when
I
they're
knew what Zeea did, I would ask her to leave tonight. All right. Next.
That's just it. That's the problem. I didn't do anything. This is my natural state of being.
That's the problem.
I just usually repress it.
Okay. Repress.
Okay. I will repress.
8.5 by 11. Well, you don't have to repress today because it's Memorial Day.
You're getting a little insight as to what goes on in my brain, so be afraid.
8.5 by 11. A gorgeous Superman. Again, one of my favorite pieces. 3,000 is the price on this, and I will keep it at that.
Happy says we're hilarious.
We've been like this all night. This is like the dumbest show
This has been all
we've done today. Right. So this is a gorgeous flying Superman, pen and ink Neal.
We built Legos today.
We did that this morning. Splatter effect. background. It's a gorgeous piece. Yeah, I know.
This would look gorgeous colored, honestly, because I've been like waiting for somebody to buy this one
I know.
and say, you know what, I want to see what it looks like colored, and he'll be freaking gorgeous.
He would just
'Cause I
pop
already
off that
have-
background.
I already have the reference for his face.
Mhm. All right, somebody released the Kraken, alias Zeea.
He's cracking.
It's $3,000 to buy this piece.
Someone told me to cower and ask to be reinstated. Never, I say, never.
Well, Sam, maybe that. I mean, you know, it could be you did nothing, and somebody that is kind of like Sam Green did something, and they accidentally hit your name and not the person they were really trying to get rid of.
Or it was you.
It wasn't me. I can't.
No, I mean
anybody.
him. Not you. You would really have to say something horrible.
Well, first
For
of all,
you,
I
Kris,
would
to
have
ban
come
somebody.
in to continuity like Yosemite Sam.
Yes. The ruinous,
Instead,
sweetness,
do
shootiness.
you know what happened on the Neal Adams Appreciation Page last night? And I'd be like blasting my guns, and I'd be
Oh,
like
you would vent.
3 feet off the ground, and I haven't done that. So I don't know what you did, Sam. See, that's actually Happy Tower's favorite Superman.
Like a post by Gustavo, Mexican French straight.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna
What
hop,
are you gonna
I'm
do?
gonna hop over to a print because I have a question.
Because it can't be any ruder than what I
Because this is the Kris show.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I know this is a sketchbook that was like one of the first sketchbooks that came out, and maybe that is the reason why everybody loves this piece.
It's because it has the Adams mouse.
We love it because it has the Adams mouse and not Atomic Mouse. It's an Adams mouse. We just loan it out as Atomic Mouse.
It's way cuter than Atomic Mouse, so it's got to be the Adams mouse.
Or is it that it's hot pink? What is the draw to this piece that everybody loves it?
It's Hulk's toes.
Is it that it's the first time DC and Marvel faced off? Is it because it has Adam's mouse? Is
Or
it
is it
because
simply
nobody
because-
uses hot pink as a background color cover?
Or is it simply because it's a Neal Adams drawing? Heck.
And in the meanwhile, while we're getting the answer,
Happy Tower says, I think it's a perspective.
I think it's the perspective. So that's why this was an interesting piece when it came out.
Well, I will give Dad definitely the credit, among many other things I'll give Dad credit for, is putting the camera in places that nobody ever thought of before.
Hmm.
And you really have to have a sense of your perspective and a sense of your anatomy to get a shot like that right. And you have a piece of confetti on Superman's leg. Your left side. Your left. There you go. Wait, Brent Fontenay says it's because we all know Hulk is going to land on someone.
Okay. I'll accept that as
Alright.
an answer. While we're getting answers in on that question, this is a 13 by 19 print. And I think this is signed by Neal. Is this one signed by Neal?
Yes.
This
As
one
Lance
is
Reader
signed by
says, I think subject matter has a wide appeal, something for everyone.
Neal.
And Happy Tower says the piece naturally moves your eyes down. I don't know. I go straight to freaking Adam's Mouse and Hulk.
Yeah, I kind of go to Atomic Mouse and I go
'Cause,
up
like,
to
the other
Hulk, and then I come
characters-
back down.
The other characters
You don't even
are
see
like
them.
that
Tunnel effect.
that tunnel effect that you get when you watch the first Star Wars movie and he's going to blow up the Death Star. But I see Adam's Mouse and I see Hulk.
Hmm. So this print is $100 to buy. It is signed by Neal, and I didn't set it up. I mean, it truly was a question. I've always been like, ever since this piece was done as the cover of the Sal Cortuccio sketchbook, it has been a favorite from like almost day one. And the thing that I noticed about it was it has so many different things that you normally don't see. You know, like what other thing out there has a hot pink background? Like that much hot pink background.
Right. Well, there's a big variety.
And
of
even
things
for Dad
to
to do a hot pink background was he dropping acid that day? I don't know. Because hot pink is not a place that Neal Adams generally goes.
Well, it is magenta.
I know it's what.
And magenta is processed red.
Yes. Unless you're using 80 markers, that is
Unless you're
deep
using 80
magenta.
Excuse me. Happy Tower says it can be the pink and blue contrasting complementary colors.
Mm. It's just interesting. Because it isn't, it isn't like a really dramatic Neal Adams piece. I mean, there's a lot here that isn't Neal Adams as much as it is Neal Adams. So, anyway, that was my science project for the night. You will all be graded on your
And
answers.
Happy Tower says I think it's pretty freaking dynamic though.
It is. I mean, I love it.
Actually,
love it.
Jason, I realize a big difference between Jason's color mixing and my color mixing is that Jason color mixes like a painter color mixes. Whereas I color mix like a printer color mixes. I do the CMYK. So I'll figure out what percentage of cyan, magenta, yellow, and black go into the color. Whereas Jason will be like, okay, well, you take,
red and green and mix it.
Well, not even red and green, but it's like name colors rather than, your
well, but you
colors.
came out of color mostly digitally. I mean, you colored digitally.
I colored digitally, but so did everybody before me because the colors in the original printing was Y.
Yeah, but
R,
Jason
and K.
Never
So
colored.
it was yellow, red, or red was actually magenta, and blue was actually cyan.
Right, but
so
Jason
the original
painted. Jason didn't color.
Yeah, because
So
the
that's why
Y2R2
Jason's painting is different. You came up through digital color,
right?
Because you were on computer.
Well,
you were the first Adams on a computer.
I came, but I came through printed color. I didn't come through camera color because that's RGB.
No,
and I can't decipher RGB for the life of me.
Right.
But CMYK I can do.
Right. But it's just the different avenues that you both kind of
Right.
grew up in. Jason wanted to be
an
artist. You decided I want to play with computers, and you learned a lot.
I just want to play with color.
Right. Well, you like programs too. You're big in playing with programs.
I was good at it, yeah.
You're still like to play with programs. Even when they're not good programs, you like it.
That is true.
So
I will argue.
Insight on Zeea tonight. Okay, back to what we're selling. So this is 8.5 by 11 and El Diablo.
El Diablo. Let's say it right. El Diablo. Like igual. El Diablo.
Okay, you can do El Diablo.
All right, what is his price tag?
$1,500.
Oh, thank you.
So
A steal at $1,500. Thank you.
El Diablo, pencil and ink, Neal.
Well, here's the thing, Happy Towers, about the CMYK is Dad could nail a color in CMYK.
Yeah, but that comes from
within like 2-3 percentages of
that makes sense because Neal
right, because
Adams
he came from the printing side.
Neal Adams came from Ben Casey, which had limited colors.
Right.
And it was all based on a 25% of this and a 50% of that.
Right, but it's still the printing colors
right.
As opposed to the digital colors. But you would think with my affinity for digital stuff that I would be able to interpret RGB, and I can't.
Yeah. No.
I have to turn it into CMYK.
I know when Dad started, when he decided he wanted to paint covers for books, I guess,
Mm.
and did a bunch of paintings. You know, it didn't come easy.
Yeah.
With that. I mean, there were a lot of stuff that got scrapped when he was doing it.
Yeah, why
Just felt his
I
hands
can,
go around my throat, admitting my past.
right, I mean, I could look at a palette of colors of paint colors on a palette,
Mm-hmm.
and I can sort of figure out what colors blend together to make the color that I need. But RGB is like so beyond my comprehension that
Yeah.
there's no way I can color adjust in RGB. I have to turn it to CMYK.
Right. Well, according to Neal Adams, it's better to do it that way because you're dealing with a cleaner color palette.
Right.
So.
Sorry to have gotten in that debate.
All right, so we have El Diablo 8.5 by 11. Pencil and ink Neal, color is Zeea.
Y'all can just say shut up so you don't shut up.
Happy Tower says he was a Pantone spot color guy first. No. Pantone was like weird.
Yeah, I can't interpret Pantone.
I can't interpret Pantone.
But I will say, whenever we had a client that was going,
if you
I
got
want
them,
kind of a bluish, greenish with a little magenta, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, just give me a freaking Pantone color.
right. That was how you communicated with art
Yeah,
directors
just
who
give
were
me the
looking
freaking
for
Pantone
a
color.
color. It's like, here, look at my Pantone book and tell me what you're talking about. Made the job a lot easier.
And then I would translate that into CMYK.
Okay, I'm going to pull up another one that I have questions about.
What do you got questions about, Kris?
So this piece, actually Neal originally did for a convention. I don't know what convention it was. Wayne would probably know, but he's left us.
He's abandoned us.
He's abandoned us. And then supposedly, Neal did it again. This is the did it again piece here. And then supposedly Bill Sienkiewicz colored it for this. So again, since this is really, Batman is really little. Spectre,
And you don't even see him hardly
Right.
at all.
I'm just going to put this over here.
Well, if you
Spectre is large, and then you have Deadman, which to me, Spectre and Deadman are lesser characters. But yet this piece is another piece that just makes people crazy. So is it because it's Spectre drawn well and there weren't a lot of good Spectres drawn well? But this piece as well seems to have a lot of people who love it.
People go, ooga.
Yeah, it's like one of those, there's certain pieces that Neal has done that just seem to radiate
Iconic
into people. And not all of them are constantly printed over and over and over again. I understand 251. Yes, I understand Superman Nevermore. Yes, but then there's these other pieces, like I said, this Sal Bertuccio with the pink background, or this piece with Spectre and Deadman.
Well, I would understand more if Batman was more prominent, but he's not.
No, but that's
neither is Green Arrow, and those are two of the characters along with Green Lantern that Dad is really known for.
Right.
I mean, granted, Dad's known for Deadman too, but not as much as Batman and Green Lantern and Green Arrow.
Right. So Army Feldman focuses on the supernatural characters. I understand that, but on the other hand,
they're lesser
known. Is it because they weren't done as much or as well, and therefore when this came out, it had the impact that it had? Is that why this is a piece that, the fact that Neal drew this twice, to me says, Neal generally, yes, he'll draw Batman heads over and over and over again, but a full piece that isn't a cover either. He drew this twice. So
Lance says more cultish character focus.
So it was the fact that it was two characters that were
he doesn't do all the time.
Yeah. Well, hardly did. He did some Spectre, but he didn't do a lot of it.
He did more Deadman than he did Spectre.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But I think maybe when he did do Spectre, it was such a dynamic difference when he did Spectre as opposed
Well,
to.
once again, he does good caping.
Yes, he does spectacular caping, but he does great anatomy too. And
Sarah may have the answer. Sarah Snyder comes up with a good answer.
I love me my Sarah. She says, and Spectre and Deadman characters were the first ones Neal became known for. His enthusiasm for the characters here is so evident.
Interesting answer. And then Happy Tower says, it's the montage that I like. I personally like the techniques. It's Gil Kane and Steranko.
I mean, it could also be that Dad did have a bit of a special affinity for the lesser popular characters. It's like whenever he
started with it, exactly what Sarah said.
Right. It's like whenever he wanted to do something that like nobody was going to pay attention to, so he could do whatever the hell he wanted with.
Mm-hmm.
Those were when he was the happiest. It's like you let loose the leash, and he can do whatever he wanted.
Right. And I just was always curious: did this convention ask him to do Spectre or Deadman, and then he came up and did this and just added the other two, or he just decided this is what I want to do? Which conventions generally don't give you any instructions. They're just like, can you do me drawing for my convention?
It could also be that Dad didn't want to draw. Samuel Perker, hello on YouTube. Greg Carver says, I always love Neal's Deadman and Spectre over all the other DC books. He was experimenting and getting his footing in comics as he was making his mark in the field. They had to be special to him.
Yeah. They were special too.
Yes.
So I know, what's his face? Dan DiDeo loves Spectre. Like, loves that character. And there are people who really do love these more kind of supernatural, ghosty characters.
And Red Sable on YouTube says, it's always exciting to see Neal Adams art. Thank you very much. We agree. We like seeing Dad's art.
It's cliche to love Batman. It's more artistically acceptable to love the little guys who are less mainstream. Yeah, I agree. So, once again, this is a piece I know people are very attracted to. Just curious to hear the answers of what it may have been. This, again, is a 13 by 19 print that we sell for $100. And I think this is signed. Is it signed?
Yes.
You see a signature? I never know it because we have so many things now that are not signed anymore or are signed.
Some of them are the display models and some.
Right. I'm confused over now what we have that is signed and not signed. So thank you for those answers. Now I'm going to continue my show.
I do love Deadman because he's always angry.
Yes. Well, I mean, he got shot.
And then he...
and then doing my circus act and somebody shoots me.
And yet people still mess with him. It's like you would think he'd been through enough.
Okay, put this way and put this one out. Oops.
I think I've always had a particular spot in my heart for Deadman.
You just like saying Baba Ganoush.
I do like saying Baba Ganoush, but I do appreciate like his position in the world and how frustrated he must be. Right, what does this one say on the back?
It doesn't say anything on the back. Okay, I'll find it. Well, it's obviously Batman on Canson, which we don't have a lot of those left. That you may have put Canson on.
You are correct.
And Sarah says Deadman is also a wise ass.
There is that too. Sarah knows me way too well.
Well, I like Deadman because he's always in trouble. He doesn't listen to anybody.
Yeah.
He does whatever he wants to do. He's always floating in between bodies.
Red Sable says as I think she's referring to Dad. He always makes Batman look so handsome. Yes, he does, and he gives him Dad always gave him the chest hair.
Well,
which I think Dad was the first person to put chest hair on a superhero.
Probably, but at the time, I mean, Sean Connery was our big heartthrob, and Sean Connery was very free at showing his hairy chest. I mean, it used to be a sign of hot stuff to have a hairy chest. Now we've gone to like
Dad was a bit of a hairball himself.
Yeah, but I mean, now we're into very well groomed men. There is no more hair.
Yes, there's a lot of manscaping that goes on.
There's a lot of women. I mean, everybody scaped.
There's a lot of scaping going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of salami places making a lot of money scaping. Okay, so yes, to answer
I have yet to scape my brows though.
This is on Hansen paper. It is kind of, I wouldn't say it's gray. I would say it's kind of like an olivey brown.
If it's gray, it'd be like a really, really warm gray. It's got that sort of yellowy gray.
Right. And that's why Neal's pencil works so nicely on the paper, because you're kind of getting that warmish browny gray through the gray of the pencil to the black of the ink to the white of the paint. And this is an original, it's an amazing piece. The white paint on this is fabulous. It is 11 by 14. I call this the living room Batman because you could hang this in your living room and it would be fine.
I would agree.
With a gorgeous frame on this, no one would bitch, and everybody would be like, "That's a really cool house. They have a Batman in their living room."
Yeah, like a monotone Batman,
right? Yeah. But also really precisely. Drawn. Like look at the edge on his nose.
Look at that jawline.
Look at those eyebrows.
His eyebrows are fleek, man.
It's like chiseled.
Yep. Carved in stone, baby.
Yeah, like take this drawing and go get your face done.
Right, this is what I want my jawline to look.
And you'll look beautiful when you come out.
But you look very intense.
Yes, your eyebrows would never be relaxed.
And you'd be like, none of this.
Right. And you have to have good lips. Batman has good lips.
Yeah, I will say, of artists in the comic book or any industry, Dad could draw men's lips.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but they have lips.
Yes.
It's like a lot of men in comics don't have lips. They just like,
a line.
They'll do the line and then they'll do the little dimple underneath. But they won't actually give a man lips. And men have, and I love when men have lips.
Mm-hmm.
But Dad is the only one that I'm aware of that can actually draw them. And they're hard to color too.
It's like the way most comic artists don't draw teeth. The teeth are all the same. There's no incisors. There's no molars.
I see that even with a lot of painters because I join a lot of painters groups and they do the chiclet thing. I'm like, no, you can't make their teeth look like chiclets.
Neal draws big teeth, which are like chiclets, but they're not
incisors
and there's vampire teeth and molars. And
there's only lines where you absolutely need them.
True. Okay.
We're doing a lot of talking tonight.
We are, but some shows are like that. We can do that. See, it is all right to do. Okay, I'm gonna do this. You're not gonna pee and skin.
I know.
I'm gonna talk about this one.
This was 200 though, right?
Yes, this is 200 because this is part of our New York Comic Con. So this is a 13 by 19. I know some of you have bought this. This is a giclée So it's a fancy print that's done on a really nice paper that we watch when it gets printed so that it matches our color as close as possible. And we like the paper because the ink sits to the paper really nicely.
And actually, the place that did the scan and the printing on this,
Is
well,
right.
at least the scan.
It is right below us.
No, this was the place that we went to.
Oh, that's
And
right.
remember, the guy was a fan.
Right.
So
This is
the guy
place
took
we went
special
to
care.
the day that New York turned brown.
Yes.
Because Canada had fires,
Exactly.
and all of a sudden
Everything
it got
went sepia tone.
dark, and everything was sepia tone. And Zee and I had just come out from dropping this off, getting scanned, and we were like, "What's going on? Why is New York
The
orange?
world is coming to an end.
It's the end of the world." And you know what? Dad would really love this color scheme.
There was that.
So, yes, that was a weird day.
Yeah, but I will say the guy who did the scans on these,
He tried being really like
He
together, like
I know
I'm not gonna know.
you could tell he was working on like keeping his cool, but he was absolutely definitely a Neal Adams fan, and he knew what it was that he.
Right.
It's like he knew the task and he went and like did the best freaking job, and he kicked ass.
These two crazy girls came in with like 4 big Neal Adams originals.
It was awesome. I want that guy for the rest of my life to scan whatever we need to scan. I want that guy.
So back to my question on this one is, I mean, Neal's taking elements of his past because this was kind of like the person who commissioned this piece was like, I really love 251.
Right.
I want to do a different take on 251. Right. So Neal is pulling elements from 251, which you kind of feel, but it's not like in your face. This is like a redo of 251. Right. And to me, I really like how he has the cards and they're all like laid out in a fan in both hands.
Well, and it's hard enough with what he did with 251 to get the two conflicting characters facing camera.
Right.
But now he's got 4.
Right. Exactly.
And you see their faces.
Yep. So he's like, I did it once, I'll do it better again.
But I'll double down on it.
I'll double down on it. So I always felt like this is of Neal's newer pieces, like later newer. Oh, Stephen Michael Tulp, thank you for joining. He just got his internet back. He must be in one of those states that had a big storm come through and probably blew down his lines.
Oh.
And finally got put back on. So nice to see you.
Yay.
But this piece I thought came out really great, and I really loved it. And I love the intensity of the color of Batman to Joker on this. So this is, like I said, this is another giclée we did for New York Comic Con. Neal did this later. It is marker and paint, or just marker?
Marker and paint.
And paint.
And airbrushing, yeah.
Right. Its size is 13 by 19, and it is $200.
So it might be mostly watercolor. I think it's mostly watercolor. A little bit of marker, a little bit of gouache. And the signature that is on this print is printed off of the original.
Right.
It is not
it's not an original signature.
A live signature.
Right, because we printed these after Neal had passed. But he didn't do the coronavirus flower.
Well, he didn't put any flower on it.
Yeah.
But he drew it. I think he started drawing this one before Corona. I mean, this was kind of
his layout. I
long.
mean, it was a layout, but he didn't actually finally sit down and do it. That was during COVID. It was during COVID and kind of a little after COVID.
I don't think it would have worked on this piece anyway. Like any flower would not have worked on this piece anyway.
Right. Oh, well. So this one is $200 for anyone who might be interested in buying it. It's a very nice piece. I like it.
Gorgeous.
And speaking of pieces that seem to talk to people,
This one says woof.
Right. Now this one, I think this one people like the cover because they were so upset over all of the sticker things that they put all along Neal's artwork that you never could see the full piece.
Right.
So this is basically based on Moon of the Wolf. This is also a giclée of a commissioned piece. So the giclée, once again, is fancy printing. And this was redone. This is not based on the original cover that was done. This was redone by Neal, so it's a recreation, which Neal does change some things when it's a recreation where somebody's not saying, I want it to be exactly the recreation. So Neal took some liberties with this, but really did kind of stay to the original cover. And this is another cover that people talk about a lot. Now, is it because it's a werewolf? Is it because we love the story? Because the story is insane.
Is it because Batman is
drugged.
trapped?
Yeah,
Because he is chained to the ground.
right. And then he finds like a nail to unleash himself.
Well, there's a certain amount to that drama. I mean, as a cover, before you even read the story, you see Batman chained to the ground and this snarly werewolf coming at him. You're like, I gotta see what what happens. How the hell did Batman get in that position in the first place?
That's true. Kind of like dungeons.
Yes.
Ooh.
I mean, it's like any good
Well, also
preview
Batman
or
was drugged.
right.
And he
Yeah.
passes out.
But it's like any good kind of, I don't want to say cliffhanger because it's not exactly a cliffhanger, but any good promotion of a story gives you that sense of, I need to see how that character got in that position.
Yeah.
It's like all the romance comic book covers. It's like, how did they get there? Or even the superhero characters. It's like, if you want somebody to buy the book, regardless of what is inside the book, you have to grab them with that cover, which is missing in a lot of book covers.
Yeah. Well, because everybody says that we have to. Lance says it's a good hook,
right?
And basically, I've talked. We've done enough covers with DC and Marvel, and like even I got frustrated. It was like, why does everything have to just be like iconic? Everything's iconic. And actually, I was dealing with a very frustrated editor who literally yelled back at me with eye teeth that if you don't think we're not sick of doing iconic, he's like, the problem is anytime we don't do iconic, the book doesn't sell. So if you do a gutsy cover, but it doesn't fit that iconic, whatever we deem iconic, which is usually a large, big figure, it doesn't sell.
So do you think something like this wouldn't sell at this point?
I don't know. This might not sell at this
because
point.
I think maybe what they're struggling with is that a lot of artists these days are not getting that, as Lance Reader says, hook.
Right.
Well,
because a lot of times we don't even know what the interior is. Like one of the things in Repping Dad was, if DC or Marvel called them and they said, hey, is Neal available to do a cover? The answer was always yes. And then we would say, do you have any elements of the story? Is there anything Neal needs to know? Because Neal liked to have his covers have a piece of what was going on in the interiors. And a lot of the time they didn't really have anything to give us. Neal would say, can I see some of the art from the book? And we would get a couple of pages, but it wasn't the juice of the book yet. Right. So it would be hard to pick up what exactly that would be. I mean, even with that Black Panther, this cover.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to sell this one now. This is 13 by 19. It is based on Moon of the Wolf, and it is $200. It is a fancy giclée print. So what I was going to say was, when we said we would do the Black Panther 1 cover, Neal was let loose. And we were and this was coming out for their movie.
Right,
And
we
they
had not
had no
seen it.
idea.
We had no idea what was happening in the film.
Right, and Neal was saying, "Is there anything I could see? Is there anything I need to know? You know, I wanted to
And they
do
were so hush hush.
a good job for you guys." So they really gave us nothing. They just were like, "Well, we want Black Panther," and it's for the Black Panther movie.
You make it up.
Right. So Neal just decided to do Black Panther on a giant kind of Egyptian
Panther
stone,
statue.
you know, or African stone, Black Panther, and it just happened to match what was in the movie.
The final scene.
Right. And Neal was just like shocked that like somehow it was like kismet.
Right. That the giant cat was in the movie.
Right. So sometimes it's just the luck of what's going on that makes things work, you know.
But you have
Sometimes there's not a lot of thinking in comics.
But I think Dad had the benefit of working the carny and being able to sell and being able to like pull people in. I mean, even at conventions, people had absolutely no interest in Dad or who he was or what he did. Dad could still draw them in with that like carnival way he had about
which he learned
getting people on the ride.
Right, which he learned on his carousel
Which he
at
learned on
Coney
his
Island
carousel,
from Jim McCullough.
McCullough. Right.
And
But I
the
mean, it's one of
McCullough
those things that, man, I wish I could have picked that up from Dad. Whatever that gene was, whatever that.
Well, he knew how to throw his voice.
Well, I could throw my voice with the best one, but you also got to know what to say and like how to.
Hurry, hurry. Those are the first 3 words.
Well, I can do the old hurry, hurry, hurry. But there's
that's
so
what
much
you have
more
to do
to
now
it.
at your convention table. See, when you sit at a show, you sit there and
Yeah, but you got to have something that comes after the hurry,
I'll
hurry,
give you a
hurry.
cane. You can do this.
You get the straw hat and the cane.
I'll stand behind a curtain.
You'll be
I
my
could be
wizard.
a dancing girl in shadow behind your curtain.
Okay.
And then you can sell them one of your comic book covers.
All right.
Okay? We'll make this work.
Well, there are days where I do feel like the freak show. So.
So anyway, since I'm now in the Black Panther 9.8, and I am supposed to be selling Neal Adams product tonight, this is a yellow label Black Panther #1 by Neal.
And we were going to start early. We were going to end early and go home, but
9.8.
forget that.
And I actually don't even know what the price is on it. Oh, it's $250. So $250 for a yellow label Black Panther variant #1, 9.8. If anyone is interested.
Oh, and just to let you guys know, next weekend on Sunday, which is June 2nd.
Sunday.
Kris and I are going to be at the Hot Flips convention
In Babylon, Long Island.
Babylon, Long Island. So if you get a chance, go to the hotflips.com website, and on there will be information on Sunday's show.
And right, those 2 should not be allowed.
Well, it's not like we're going to bring the bombs.
I wanted to bring the bombs
I want to bring the bombs
Cradle Con, and then we were too chicken. But I think Cradle Con would have killed us too, so
Yes.
it's probably good. But maybe we'll bring our bombs to Hot Flips. If you buy from us at Hot Flips, we will have a bomb. I'll bring my
We just won't bring the loud ones.
I'll bring my little gun bombs.
The little ones that go.
The ones that half the time don't work. Okay, my last piece for the night, I think, because I have to be Madison Square Garden getting out tonight.
There is that.
And I don't have Wayne to tell me what, if they're in
Score
the
is.
3rd period or 4th period.
Are the Rangers fans going to be pissed off or not?
Well, last I saw, it looked like the Florida team was winning,
Yeah.
which is not good.
I'm afraid.
Anyway, so I do have Hulk here. Neal did, I want to say, 4 or 5 different finished pencil renders of Hulk.
He binged on the Hulk.
meaning that his pencil is tight as if it's an inked piece. He's using his pencil to do shadow.
Brent says second period tied 1 to 1.
Okay, so I still have time, and I don't have to run yet. Thank you, Brent. So this piece is 3,000. Obviously, it is penciled by Neal. It does have a signature. The size of this is 1114. And I think this is actually our last Hulk that we have, unless I find something, which I doubt I'll find something because we didn't draw Hulk that often. We do have the Hulk published cover available, but of pieces like this where you're not buying a published piece, this is the last Hulk. All the other Hulks have been picked up and bought. And this Hulk is 3,000 to buy.
Our freight is really busy tonight.
Yeah. That be true. Actually, you know who might visit us is Randy, because Randy lives on the island. Randy as in Randy Funk.
I like this Hulk because he looks like I look when somebody's eaten the last cookie at home and didn't tell me. And I would have bought more cookies if somebody had told me.
Are the police coming? Police are always coming. We are in Midtown Manhattan. It's a constant police sirens or fire trucks.
I would love to get through one day, just one freaking day, with no emergency vehicle sirens going on.
It was like that during COVID.
Oh God, I loved COVID.
All
There's
right.
nobody on the street.
We have
Nobody on the train.
right. We have Hulk for 3,000. New York was so weird that
It was
wigged,
like The Walking Dead.
I wigged out in the middle of the Lincoln Tunnel because there was no other cars in the tunnel but me, and it felt so wrong. Like it must be the end of the world.
See, Lance Reader says COVID was the best. I'm with you, Lance. I'm so with you.
That
COVID
I literally
spoiled the
started
hell out of me.
panicking in the back of a car because there were no other cars in the tunnel.
It's just
And I
me
have
and the
never-
driver.
Right, I have never been in a tunnel in New York City, any tunnel, pick a tunnel, where you are the only car throughout the whole tunnel.
I loved it.
Weird sensation. Okay, I'm gonna do one more print, and then I'll say I'm gonna do one more, and then I'll say I'll do one more.
It was great because, like,
Stephen Michael Tubbs loved COVID too.
see,
Wow.
Jade had to be online school by 8:30, so we would get here on ninth floor about 8:00. I would get Jade online with school, and then it would be like an hour or so before anybody else got in. I got to work on my Big Dave painting. I got to do a little yoga in the morning before anything even started, and there was nobody.
You're welcome, Greg Harper. I'm happy that you always enjoy our show. And have a good night. Okay, so this is going to be my last piece for tonight. And I picked this because some people don't even know Neal did a Star Wars cover. 100? 100, yeah. Because this is more print and not a fancy play. And it's not from New York Comic Con. This is a Star Wars cover that Neal did.
It's Kylo Ren.
Which when Neal originally did it, I was like, yeah, Kylo Ren. But the piece has really grown on me. And now I actually kind of like it. And I'm sure we probably sold, we did sell. Matter of fact, I even know who we sold them to. There's some lucky gentleman who watches this show who actually bought this original. So this is $100 to buy as a print. The size of this is 13 by 19. This would get Neal's holographic signatures thing that we put with it, because this was not signed by Neal because we did this print after Neal had passed. I really love his The white guys in Star Wars are called
The Stormtroopers.
I really love his stormtroopers in the background because he kind of drew them rough. Like here's a place where Neal generally is always like tweet, 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 tweet. And his stormtroopers, maybe Zeea will come in on it, but she's busy on her phone.
Excuse me, I was reacting to somebody's comment. Hello.
His stormtroopers on this are actually kind of on the loose side. But it's, again, it's an interesting, his background to his foreground is just very different even for Neal. It's almost like his, it was like commercial to the background with very comic booky to the foreground. And then I like how he does the cross.
The lightsaber.
With the lifesaver. Lifesaver. Lifesaver.
Armageddon.
Do you know, speaking of Neal Adams, Coney Island.
I set her off. Sorry, guys.
And Neal working on the carousel. That right next to Dad's carousel was the parachute jump. And that the parachute jump was sponsored by
Armageddon.
Lightsabers.
Lifesavers. Okay.
And that it used to actually have these little round lifesavers that were connected to the midsection of the parachute.
I was trying to work out the segue to that one.
Well, because I was saying lifesavers instead of lightsabers, which then got me to the Coney Island parachute jump, which just happened to be next to Dad's carousel.
Gotcha.
Where Neal learned how to throw his boys because he was competing
Sure,
in some
sure.
ways for the people that were going to the parachute jump. So he had to get them off the parachute jump line and onto the carousel line.
See, it's weird. Kris and I are the same generation Adams, but it's almost like we're like different generation Adams. It's just because there's the difference in years
In
between
age.
us. And Kris like experienced a different version of our parents than Joel, Jason, and I did, and that Josh did with Dad and Meryl. So it's like weird, like
Going backwards and forwards in time.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's, I guess that's the interesting part of the family that has a large spread. A lot of families have a lot of kids, so you get the spread because you just have so many kids in it. But what's interesting because when Dad's carousel disappeared. Like Dad would come to Coney Island and we would have to go down the boardwalk and he'd say, "See this circle?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, that's where my carousel was." Because all that was left was actually broken concrete that had the white paint of the safety circle that is on the outside of all carousels. Right. So that you don't step.
It's a line of death. You cross it, you die.
It's a line of death on a carousel. Right. And right next to it, when I was probably 15 or 16, I used to go out to Coney Island. And I did notice inside, because you could walk up to, it was like garbage town at Coney Island at that point. And you could actually walk into the broken fencing of the parachute jump. And inside, it had like wood planks on it. Mm-hmm. Inside, you could see lifesavers. So I always question, why are there giant lifesavers inside the middle portion of the parachute jump? And then I read that it actually came from like a World's Fair that was sponsored by Lifesavers, and that they moved, because they moved a lot of stuff from the first World's Fair in New York to Coney Island. So,
Coney Island had a few suspicious fires, so
yeah. Well, that was when it was burning down, and everybody was burning down everything in Coney Island. So I did get to see the Lifesavers, even though I shouldn't have, but I did. As well as Dad's little circle. And then I'll tell you another cool Neal Adams thing. Yeah. So when you go to Central Park and you're like 7 years old and you ride the carousel that's in Central Park, which still runs to this day, which I think was actually designed by a different guy than the guy who designed the carousel that Dad worked. But the coolest thing was I had a dad that could step on and step off a carousel.
Like a pro.
Like a pro,
Right.
like those guys that run the carousels that
You're like, if I did that, I
you
would
have to
die.
step on going backwards because the carousel goes at a certain speed.
Right.
And Dad would do it in his little slip loafers. And I can remember being on a horse going, I have the coolest dad in the world because he knows how to get on a carousel.
But you put him in roller skates.
So.
Yeah, I think Dad got a lot less cool.
Sorry.
Dad was a bit clumsier when I came around.
Well, okay, granted, he was older. He was a parent too many times.
Well, that and also
was a little bulkier.
We were putting him in activities that he really didn't want to participate in, so he was trying to get out of it, which caused him trouble. So, yeah. There's that. And he almost died. Did he ever almost die before we came along?
No.
No, that's only after us. Okay.
I mean, the only time I remember Dad almost dying was
at the beach.
No. I always worried they were going to die at the beach because I had two crazy parents that would leave me on the beach, and then they'd go out into Jones Beach, into the ocean, and I'd see these little tiny heads, and I'd be like, they're going too far out. I was like the adult. They're going too far out. They're never going to come back and get me. I'm going to be stranded on a beach.
I'm going to be an orphan.
And then they would finally come in. But the only time I remember Dad almost dying was he had gotten really sick, and he still worked through a deadline on some comic book and really got sick. And it's the first time I ever saw Dad like really lay down and die and actually stopped working. And that's about the only time. He died more in the the Hamptons were where we almost lost Dad. Water and Dad.
Couple of times. Yeah, Dad and water, not a good combo.
Right. So, anyway, that is our Neal Adams stories for tonight. That we're
Dad and roller skates were okay until he didn't want to play the game anymore.
Well, it's when you're older, you don't want to get on roller skates.
Yes, but if you want to get out of the game, you don't go faster, you go slower.
Well, I think
I know this.
No, I guess he didn't. It's kind of like the time I went ice skating. And
I did the same thing.
For the first time in my life, I fell backwards and smashed my head into the ice.
Oh, my God.
And I got up from that and went, never again.
I think I went with Ellen.
Right, never again.
I went with Ellen, and I was doing okay. And then they re-wet the ice, and I got cocky, and I went out, and boom.
Right, so that's what happens.
Yeah.
So you never know. You get cocky at the wrong moment, you pay a big price.
Thank God I got such a thick head of hair and a ponytail. It saves my skull so many times.
I cracked my head. I thought my skull was going to be broken on the ice.
No, it's that and inline skating.
Yeah.
La Fromia Collects says, I honestly did the same thing with ice skating. See, you know what I mean.
It's always fun. It's always good when you fall forward. It is never good when you fall backwards.
No, that is true.
So.
But I did that inline skating because I don't know how the hell she did it, but some dim bulb in front of me went past me on a bicycle, and she stopped, and she went to put her foot down, and I don't know, maybe her foot was made out of Jell-O. I don't know, but she fell down and she took the entire bike lane on the West Side Highway, and I was already going at a pretty good tilt, and these were inline skates with the heel stop, and I'm not used to that shit. So I just dropped, and thank God I had the ponytail in the back of my head because my skull bounced off on my ponytail. Because otherwise,
off of concrete. Oh well.
And like snowboarding, I turned to Bert and I was like, don't make me do this anymore.
And that is the end of our show tonight.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to purchase anything, we put my teeth back in my mouth.
You got to get a new set of dentures because those are just not.
Yes, they're not.
Wear a helmet.
My
hair is a helmet, Sam.
Wear a helmet. This was pre-helmets.
Are you not a Gen Xer? Helmets?
Good night, Stephen. So if there's anybody who would like anything, now's the time to say something. Because
it's a fun show.
We might be in the third period tonight. I don't know. And Sarah had a good time tonight. Okay. I guess everybody's saying we can go home, Z.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. We'll be back next week. Have a good Memorial weekend. Stay safe. Don't drown. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.